Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have kind of a weird one because Hersher of the Abyss in the comments of the last Houkai video wanted me to listen to Guns Girl Z music, which I didn't know was related at all, but apparently it's like a predecessor to Honkai Impact 3rd. What is up with this company making like numbered games or like subtitled games? Like Guns Girl Z feels like it would be a sequel to Guns Girl. Is there a Guns Girl? If so, then why does Honkai Impact have a third? I will never be not confused about that. I don't know if this is just like a jumbled timeline that I am largely unaware of. That could very well be the case. But I guess I'm going to be listening to Jhana's character theme today, if that's how you say her name. I assume it's that or Jhana, but either way, I guess I'm listening to this. So without further ado, let's go!
I stare at the space through the starlight up above the earth so high.
Off to a nice start.
The sea and wait my guest with proceed wind. Look, shadow visitors, welcome, you arrived my place. Now come to stay.
A little bit of English in there, but that's fine. Happens. Great impact there.
You should not be frightened of God, who's among you is great and all to keep you from sin, smite.
Very intense song.
Madness rings about this truly foolish that dares to die.
That was a beautiful match of like the voice and the violin. That was really haunting. Loved that. It was like at this octave difference. It sounded so cool. All right. Kinda didn't expect the drum kit to show up for this. Nice intro there. Always appreciate a good drum kit just barging its way through. It's very haunting melody. I love that sound. See, this chorus feels very symphonic metal. Love the way that feels. It's got a great amount of punch to it. I love that. Those slides are sick. Just abusing the tension. Gotta have a guitar solo. Man. It's not quite done yet. The little character walking over there helped me understand that. I was hoping they were going to do a harmony split on that foolish part. Whew. Love that at the end too. What a great inclusion, having all those voices come together and do a full a cappella harmony. Gorgeous choice. I always love being introduced to a new sound from a different game. And like, yeah, there are definitely some similarities in tone to other things I've heard from MiHoYo before, but like, this is its own character. This has its own energy to it. This almost feels like a, kind of like a horror story. It almost has sort of kind of like a Lovecraftian horror eldritch vibe to it. Like, everything feels cultish, and that's kind of part of the song as well. That's part of the theme going on there. They even said the word cult in there, so that's probably skewing my opinion on that front. But the symphonic metal energy behind it, this big bombastic feel, everything had so much importance in the song. Nothing really felt like it was kind of like blown to the wayside and like they were focusing on something else until that ending part where they wanted to, and they stripped it completely down and just went in with the voices. That was a great emotional moment. It really changed the feel of the whole song there and added this weight right at the very tail end, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how deep does this like hole go? You know, it makes you wonder who all the people singing are, because where were they up to this point? It's a great narrative choice there. I think the only part that I really have to complain about, and this is a small gripe, is just really the mixing wasn't all that fantastic. I wish the drums were a little bit clearer, especially with that guitar solo that came in. That felt like it was just really squished in the background, and they were kind of just setting everything else on top of it. The vocals were really clear, I'll give them that one, but I think they definitely could have done a little bit better on that. To be fair, that could also be just the quality of the upload I was listening to. I'm not sure if there is an official upload anywhere. I know that this is basically just a fan upload for promotional purposes, so sometimes they don't get the best quality of music, and there was some like warbling distortion in there, so I'm feeling like that's probably the case. It probably just wasn't that great of an upload for the song itself, but that's fine. I could still hear everything, and even through all that mud, I could still tell what was important in the mix. I just kind of wish that there was some more focus on those like more traditional rocky elements rather than just the strings, because I could really hear those, and I could really hear the voice, which, to be fair, is the bulk of the song, has the most to do with it, but definitely when you're getting into the weeds of everything else, you're like, man, I wish I could hear those other portions, and I really couldn't as well. So that's really my only nitpick. Everything else about this was absolutely gorgeous. I love the impact. The scales that were being used were great. That one spot where it had just constant screeching, like scrape slides on all the strings, that was really cool because they were just like mirroring each other. One would go down, it would go up, it would do like a stepped scale up or down depending on what it needed to oppose. That's really cool. Just having that juxtaposition, feeling like there's a god fighting against the person trying to summon them, you know, like there's this give and take in the song, and that's really cool. And the whole just feeling of this song being so dark really adds to that as well. There's just always this tension just hovering above your head, and you're not sure how far this goes. Like I said earlier, that rabbit hole could go so deep. Who are all these people? Why are they singing about this? There's a story here that needs to be unfolded, and that's a great thing to do for a character song, because the whole point of a character song usually is to kind of give a general idea or a summary of sorts, what the character is and like what their goal is, who they are, and sometimes the why. Sometimes you don't get every single answer there, and sometimes they leave it ambiguous, and this song seems to leave some things up to the imagination, which I like. Despite it kind of walking you through the story here, it never fully tells you what is happening. It's just kind of explaining this is how things are, and it makes you wonder where things are going to end up, and that's always a really cool thing to like not include, just to leave that mystery, that giant question mark hanging over everything. And kind of back on the whole nitpick thing, I know I mentioned during the reaction that there was some incorrect English in here. That just kind of happens sometimes. I'm not expecting perfect translations to happen in general. When it comes to these games, I kind of expect there to be some of that fudge around, especially in the earlier days of these games existing as a whole, before they had the money and resources to do stuff like spell checking and grammar checks. It's like, that's not really too important as long as you get the general feel across. So while I mentioned it, it's not really something to harp on for too long. So I just wanted to bring that up since I did mention it. But in general, this is a really good song. I'm also noticing from just seeing other things on screen that this might be more directly related to Houkai than I thought. Like, is Houkai like the name and then everything after that is like what the story is? Like, so is this like number 2 and there's another one before this, and then Houkai Impact third is technically like Impact Third being the subtitle to the game. Is that what's happening here? Is Houkai the only like consistent name in here? Because I'm getting Houkai Gakuen, which I suppose if you were to, again, fix that kind of warbly translation would be Houkai, I believe. My Chinese is not great, and I'm not sure exactly how they're translating things here, or if those sorts of syllable changes are, like, even relevant to this specific case, but that would not really be a surprise, because Houkai and Houkai definitely share that, like, vague ambiguity of being the translation, like, mishap of error or something. So if I am right, let me know. I could be, again, completely off on that. I don't really have much in the way of that clarity, so if I am close, cool, but if I'm not, tell me why. You know, like, explain the storyline, or like at least the lineage of these games to me in the comments, because I don't know how many there are. I know that Star Rail is the most recent one, but is that like number 4 then? Is that how that works? Like, that's what I'm confused about. I really don't know the timeline for all these things and the why they're there, so clarify that to me, please. But that's all I'll say on this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have anything else from this game or any other Houkai property you want me to get to, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to it. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for other stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!